There's an idea of badly written female characters out there that I find incredibly weird. Because if my life was a movie, everyone would say I was a terribly written female character. Because a female character seems to have to be the absolute best at whatever they do while still being incredibly gorgeous. Otherwise, they're a waste of space.
I never had a lot of guys like whistle or anything like that at me. I think part of it was because I came from a very small town, so everyone knew everyone, and if you whistled at a girl, like, she would probably punch you the next day because she would recognize you. Um, but my mom used to tell me about when she was walking to work when she was in her 20s, and every time she was walking down the road, like, some guys would whistle at her. Every time she passed a construction site, guys would whistle at her, and she was always talking about how awful it was. And
There's this idea that being girly is bad. And so we want our female characters to be utter bamfs. They need to be the utter best at what they do, and they're not allowed to be weak, because otherwise they're just a weak female character. They're a badly written female character. And all they do is show about how weak a woman is, and all this girl does is cry or whatever. And I'm a girl, and I cry, and I fuck up. And that's one of the things that I want to see on TV. I want to see women who look like me.
I feel like girls are held to a lot higher standards than guys, not just physically and like visually, not just as an object to look at, but also just like with knowledge in general. Like a girl who's wearing a t-shirt with, I don't know, a comic book logo or something on it. She's going to get asked questions about that comic book, and she's going to be quizzed on whether she actually read the comic book or is just for some reason wearing a shirt with a logo just to attract the kind of entitled jerk who will ask a person questions to test whether she knows enough about the clothing she's wearing.
When I receive a comment on the street, regardless of whether it's positive or negative, from particularly male strangers as opposed to a friend or somebody who I may be close to or know rather well, it feels more invasive or uncalled for.
a lot of guys think that they're complimenting women when they like whistle at them or something like that. I mean, I've had guys tell me, like, "Oh wow, you're so pretty," but it was so obvious that they were lying about it. It was not only an insult to me because it was saying I wasn't pretty. It was also an insult to my intelligence because they thought I was too dumb to realize that they were just lying to me, flat out lying. And that's doubly offensive, and that makes it worse than if they just not said anything at all.
You can talk about how a woman shouldn't have to wear makeup. Oh, I like natural girls so much better. Well, fuck you. What if she wants to wear mascara? Just because I like how I look with eyeliner, I'm not doing that for you. I think I look nice in that.
In my classes, there are these guys who are just desperate to prove how smart they are, and desperate to show that even though they're outnumbered 1,000,000 to 1 by these scary, scary women, they are truly the intellectual powerhouses, and meanwhile I'm just sitting there like, you are trying way too hard. Of course, dismissing someone's logic because of their gender is a pretty rude thing to do. Even ruder than questioning someone's status as a higher math student or a Justice League fan just because of their gender, but of course both of these things happen to women all the time.
They may think whatever they like, but I do not want to know about it, and just because they have whatever thoughts does not give them the right to publicly voice them. Oh, you look good in that skirt. That may seem, it may seem positive because of the way they said it, but it's somebody who I don't know. It's somebody who I did not solicit this from. It honestly makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable to hear that on the street.
Sometimes when you're in a class with a guy, you'll feel him looking at you and you'll just know what he's thinking. What he's thinking is that he can judge you based on your clothing and the book you're reading and the excited conversation you're having with your friend before the class starts. What he's not judging you on is any demonstrated level of ability in the subject that the class is in. But the fact that he's a guy and you're a girl somehow justifies him in his own mind for assuming that he's the better student.
And I feel like that is the supreme epitome of male entitlement, where, you know, whatever a woman does, it's for them. It's because of them.
Statistically nowadays, women are doing better than men in college, and I bet they know it. And I bet they feel threatened, which I cannot bring myself to feel bad about at all, not even a little.
Guys think that if you don't want to be their possession, that you must be some kind of lesbian or feminazi. But you know what? If I'm going to be a feminazi because I want people to respect my body and respect me as a human being, then okay, fine. I'm a feminazi. Suck on that, patriarchy.